Here we go. One more week of Pitchmark Collective. Got
Woo!
DL2. Got the big man Cam. What's going on, boys?
I'm going to choose to not take offense to that. It's going
I
swell.
was trying to think of something. I don't want to say what's up, Slim Shady or something. I mean, that's not going to go over well.
Big Cam's doing great on this fine Tuesday evening. I didn't have to drive to and from Virginia this past weekend, so I got that going for me.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
For the listeners here, how many hours of driving is that? That's a little bit of dashboard time.
Hold on. Justin, why don't you and I guess first?
All right.
I did not.
I haven't even looked at the map or anything. I honestly have no idea where this is.
I'm going to go 8 hours and 13 minutes from where you currently are right this second, Teddy.
I'm going over that. I think it's like 13 hours.
That was a pretty good guess. It's 10 and a half on the GPS. Ultimately, it took about that on the way up. On the way back down, it was over. Probably 12 and a half hours. Pretty brutal.
I finally beat Cam at something.
What makes you decide to drive versus fly?
There's been so many, like, a lot of my coworkers and like friends, like everybody's had flight issues. Justin, you've had flight issues as well. Like I was only going to be able to go for 2 days. And so I did not want to get screwed by either a super long delay or just a straight up cancellation. And then it just not work out.
The whole trip's ruined, yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to at least be in control of the situation and just drive myself to and from. And it was fun. It was a fun 2 days. So yeah.
Ultimate question after you do something like that, because like I've done the drive from like here to Vegas. We've done it 3 times now as a family, and every time I have a different answer. But would you do it again?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Because
Yes,
like within 48 hours of completing that drive, I'm like, hell no, we are not doing that again. And 3 weeks later, I'm like, we go on a
so
road
bad.
trip. That'd be kind of fun. I kind of liked it, and I forget the fact that like my wife on the last time on the way down, I'd fallen asleep and I woke up, looked in the rearview mirror, and there was a sheriff behind us. And I was like, oh, wrong time to fall asleep. Shoot. Got our first ticket ever, which was interesting. Or on the way back when you're like, yes, to my daughter, it's like, yes, I don't care. Just watch as much YouTube as you want. Just stop asking questions right now because we still have 6 hours left.
Yeah, I will say it did help because on the way up, we went one route. We were able to stop at Buc-ee's and like I slept for like an hour, so that was nice. And then go into Buc-ee's and get some snacks and stuff. On the way back, we went a different route and I went by a cookout. So I was able to get cookout.
Oh, cookout! We're looking for sponsorships. If you're listening,
cookout is another Buc-ee's, right? Like we've had this conversation.
It's more of just a fast food joint.
Yeah, just fast food.
That's like East Coast, we'll call it, more East Coast. I've never seen anywhere like west of the Mississippi. So
okay.
Yeah, so those 2 things alone made it not the worst drive.
I think too the drive back always is worse, right? Because you have the impending doom of work, your trip's over, there's no more fun to be had, you're tired from your trip.
And I was sore. Like it was, my whole family, we're playing badminton, we're playing kickball, we're hitting golf shots. We went to my grandfather's house who has like 6 bent putting greens like scattered around his property. And so we're just hitting golf balls like over his house and stuff.
Yes, 6 putting greens at his property.
Yeah. Yes.
Like real grass.
Yes. So he is he was like a golf course mechanic and old equipment that once they replace it, he'll take the old stuff, take it to his property. So the guy's got like multiple tractors. And just any possible piece of machinery you could ever need. So, yeah.
Did you know about this, Cam?
First time hearing about it.
Pretty cool.
You should be like much better at golf than you are, Teddy.
Well, so I will say, short game, wedge game.
15 hours away from where he lives.
Yeah, but wedge game is the best part of my game. And if I would go up there like over the summer or something, like every day, I mean hours, you just take a shag bag. I think from like corner to corner, you could probably hit like 250 plus yards. But for the most part, it's set up for like 60 or probably a little bit shorter than that, but like 50 to like 130 yards for most of them. And so you can hit, just any different wedge shot you want over
Very
trees, under
important part
trees.
of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
That
sick.
would be so cool. I would love to have a
Pretty
putting
sick.
green at my house. Like
So
we've
maybe
actually we've talked about it. So
maybe we just do the Pitchmark Collective annual trip to Teddy's grandpa's.
We could do that.
Room and board,
do that.
golf course.
it's in Virginia though.
I've never been.
Neither
It's
have I.
if it helps, it's like the most northern part of Virginia, right outside
Considering
like
I don't know
Maryland,
the southern part of
Pennsylvania.
Virginia, I don't know if it helps at all.
Well, like, all right.
I know nothing
well,
about Virginia.
Well, it looks like we have geography on one of the items to go over at the end of the podcast. So we'll just save it for then.
We'll talk about that.
Hey, also, if somebody could explain aim point to not only Teddy but myself as well, in the comments, please do so.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you? I've got like 3 buddies that I play with on a regular basis that actually use it. What do you need to explain to?
Let me ask you a question. What are their handicaps?
One's a +5, and the other one's like a 4.
Okay, I'll give the +5 a pass. Why? Why do people?
How long does
actually
it take them?
So this.
Like, what are we doing?
So I played in them, like we talked about it last week. I played in the member guest, and one of the guys that we played in the first flight, he used aim point, and he did it every single time. I mean, people talk about it taking so long. It honestly doesn't take that long. Like there was a couple times where he readjusted what he was doing, but watching him putt made me want to go and like actually figure out aim point again, because it was pretty amazing. Because once he like felt the slope, he was on target, and it was all about him hitting it on speed, and it worked. He made some putts. I mean, he made some putts, especially against us, that took him up in the rankings a few times. So, but I mean, it's the simplest thing ever. You just have to know. Yeah, because all it is it's your feet, right? So you're standing there with your feet, and you're trying to find the slope.
You
And
straddle your line that you think it is, right?
It's either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees, and then based on if it's 2 degrees, that's where your fingers go up, and the closer it is, the faster the greens, farther away, the slower the greens. So if it's like a 12,
but then how do you know like
that's all perception. That's like feel of like how fast you've been playing greens, and then you put it out there and pick your line and go. Like but I think it's cool, and I'm kind of intrigued by it because it takes out, like, I mean, we've all done this where all of a sudden we're like, oh, our eyes are telling us one thing, and then we stand over it and we're like, yeah, I'm gonna try it's breaking more to the right, and you all of a sudden you're like, damn it, like I had it right the first, or my feet were completely correct, right?
So what exactly are you doing with your fingers? I don't understand.
So the like the degrees of slope, that's what you're using your fingers for. So like if you really have a 4-degree slope, and it's gonna break left to right, you're putting four fingers up, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the degrees of slope, and that's where you're aiming at.
So I would aim like over on the edge of my hand if I was like if it was a right to left.
That's giving you on a stamp of 10 or 11, like normal, you're standing there, and from your ball to where the ball at 4 degrees, it should break right there.
And you said closest is slower. So if like you think the greens are playing slower?
I think so. That's the one thing I always like, because I've never actually tried it. I've just looked into it a few times, and I watch, a couple buddies do it on a weekly basis, but they literally learned it because they went out and they just took a level with them and they just started, okay, what's this feel like? Let me guess. I think it's a 1. Look down at the level. 1. Sweet. Go over here.
Is this an aim
2.5.
point tool?
No, they literally went to Home Depot and did it.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I have been
I'm out on it.
Pass. Like there's a coach up in Portland who does it, and he teaches it to juniors. And I'm like, oh, that'd be actually kind of cool if I taught my daughter how to do it, because it'd probably help her like read greens with a actual like process to it, rather than just like, oh yeah, I think it's over there, Dad. Stuff like that.
All right, Teddy. Now that you know what aim point is, are you going to do
it? Probably not. No.
Eddie, the first question is, are you going to actually putt with pants on? And then we can get to aim point after.
Well, so what's funny is that session started as an aim point learning session, and that's how it progressed, was just me taking my pants off. So it didn't work.
That escalated very quickly.
I could only go 1 degree either way, is what I found.
Yeah.
Well, now that we know what aim point is, and that both Teddy and I are just going to bypass using it ever.
I'm sure someone's going to rip me up in the comments and say that is not it, or there's something, or I wasn't.
Yeah, listeners who are following us on Instagram, we're the Pitchmark Collective, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Let Justin know your thoughts on his explanation of aim point and the new hot putting technique. So
let Teddy know if aim penis point is a thing that should be practiced more or not.
If it hangs 1 degree to the left or
right. Please
right.
do. Maybe DM him that one.
Yeah, DM me that if you've done it before, and maybe have a video showing how to do it. Just send that over.
And with that, we are going to segue to talking about the birdie fest that was the John Deere Classic out there at TPC Deere Run. It's 4th of July weekend. I mean, I didn't watch really any golf. I saw that my dead last pick, Hayden Springer, actually decided to become the 14th person to shoot 59 or better in a PGA Tour event. So that was great.
That was pretty cool.
It seemed like was it Ben Griffin who was on 59 Watch Needed Birdie 17 and 18 on, I think, Friday or Thursday or Saturday. And then he promptly put his tee shot on 17 into the trees. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
I think, wasn't that on Sunday? Didn't he go low Sunday?
Was it Sunday? It might have been Sunday. Anyways, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been, steady birdieing those 2 holes for 59. It was Sunday, confirmed.
You wouldn't have been shaky at all. Like hands would have just been cool as a cucumber.
I don't get nervous,
Sure.
Overall, it was. I like these kinds of tournaments because, it's cool seeing the best in the world get, tossed around the golf course like at a U.S. Open and all that. But I also like it when they're just lights out making birdies from everywhere. I enjoy that. I know a lot of people do not. Events like these give the winner, Davis Thompson, some really good job security and more opportunity to win and stay on tour. Teddy, what exactly are your thoughts on events like the John Deere Classic, where maybe it's not the strongest field, but I think Davis Thompson's the 9th first-time winner on the PGA Tour this year, which is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, especially when everybody's going low. What was the cut? It was
5 under. Teddy's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, Cam, you got it because you had 4 under.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was exciting. Everybody going low is better than just a couple guys. It seemed like a lot of names were in the mix. And it's just funny when your dead last pick shoots
beats my outright winner.
Beats your outright
shoots
pick
59
on day one. So
Spieth went low on Saturday. He shot, I think, 8 under.
He did
2 bogeys.
What did he shoot on the front 9? you shoot like 28, 29?
Yeah, he shot. I think it was 6 under for 29.
Oh, okay. But he was like 600 through like 8 holes.
He
Or
made
something like that.
he made 5 straight birdies going
Yeah,
into
it was
the back.
absurd. It was absurd.
So here's the interesting thing. I mean, winner obviously was at 28 under, right? So four out. But if you scroll down and you look at like the leaderboard, they're tied for 12th was still 20 under par.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 people that were 20 under par. Like that's some golf. And then you go down, like keep scrolling because you don't get until 44th until you get to 10 under par.
I think my favorite thing about this tournament this year was the fact. So Hayden Springer shot 59 and was outright leader, right? There's guys who shot, I think 61, 62, and they're like tied for second.
Yeah.
Because 4 other guys went and did it too. And then you're not even in first because Hayden Springer just made history pretty much becoming 14th person. I don't know. I like Birdie Fest. I think it's a good mix, this year of like you said, everyone's going low, so it makes it a little easier to tolerate. It's not like the top 3 guys are the only ones 20 under par and better, right? So
I think it's cool because you hear some different names than you do on a weekly basis, but like even those different names, right? Like CT Pan, Ben Griffin, Denny McCarthy, Hayden Springer, Eric Cole. Eric Cole, you wear the ugliest shoes known to man, by the way. So if someone wants to do a shout out for that, that'd be awesome. But
someone at Eric Cole.
Like the FootJoy dad shoes that no one even buys, yet he wears on the tour. It's crazy to me. But like there's so many cool names, and it proves like how good everyone is on the PGA Tour. Like it's whoever gets hot with their putter. Because I mean, are you telling me that someone, let's say Scotty's there, you think Scotty's gonna go out and shoot like he's not gonna be 35 under, but he's probably gonna be right around the same of 28, something like that. So I mean,
I'd almost rather
cool.
see guys like that go out just to see like what they would do. Like what would Rory shoot
comparison of the two? Yeah.
TPC Deere run. What would Scotty shoot? What would say John Rahm shoot if he's on tour? Bryson, all that.
Yeah.
We might get something like this on the live event when they do their championship in Bolingbrook. That's not a hard. It's not gonna be a difficult course for those guys, and they only play 3 rounds. Like, are they gonna be 20 under plus? Like
after 3 rounds
that tournament? Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe. I was talking to my cousin's husband who lives right next door to Bolton. He's like that they are going to tear that course up because he's pretty good himself, and he'll shoot under par occasionally. I think he's like scratch golfers tear that place up. Like, imagine if John Rahm's going out there just birdieing every hole.
Maybe a poor example.
Is it? He's in live. They're playing at Bolingbrook. It's a great example.
He's not playing the best golf right now. That's all.
Yeah, he's mad at drones.
Yeah, how many drones are going to be there? I think that's the first question you have to ask.
I just want to know if he actually regrets going away from the PGA Tour. Like, do you make what, 400 to 600 million is like kind of the thought that he was getting. Do you regret leaving because now you're like, I'm so competitive. I've already made a couple $100 million. Like, so money didn't really matter, and I just padded my wallet, but I really missed the competition.
I have to imagine that if there are feeling of regrets for any of these guys, all they have to do is open up their banking account, like their bank app on their phone. They're like, okay, it's not so bad now. Like, I really liked what Richard Bland said, because he's like, I 100% went for the money. Like, why wouldn't I? I had an opportunity. Like, just say that. And what's funny is like he's having a great year both on live and then also in the PGA Tour Championship.
Yeah,
with 2 majors. Come on now. I doubt there's much regret from any of these guys. If they were truly wanting to be competitive and stay competitive and have that, we'll call like legacy feeling towards them, they would have stayed. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas didn't get a call from Greg Norman, right? We're not going to act like that. They did.
Everyone did. Yeah.
Those guys are the ones who maybe they do want legacy. Maybe they do have some moral qualms with live golf, right? If you ask me after getting paid $300 million, if I regret the decision that got me that money, I'm going to say, hey, no, absolutely not. No matter what it is.
Yeah. I bet he misses playing though. And that's the crazy part about it. So
yeah, he might miss the, he's not playing well, right? Is that because he's not playing enough, or is he just in bad form right now, which can happen to literally any golfer at any point in time?
now, if we go completely opposite side of this spectrum of getting paid $600 million, and we go to, I can never say this guy's name right. I'm gonna murder it. Michael Thornbornson. Theodore Bornson, right? So he just got his card this year, just started playing, graduated from Stanford. Like, was he the #1 amateur in the world for 4 years or something like that? And then you've got tied for second with him, Luke Clanton, like the people's champ right there.
Don't forget about CT Pan, also tied for second.
Okay, so CT Pan was still
tour
there.
player.
Yeah, but Luke Clanton's an amateur. So speaking of going and getting $600 million on his summer break from Florida State University, he just earned 900 grand, and he can't take it. So, but that also brings up, like, what does Luke Clanton make when it comes to NIL money? Like,
yeah, I don't think golfers are making as much, probably.
Some of the females, like I looked at, gosh, what female did I look up? Wasn't it Rose Zhang, I think, from Stanford? She was close to like 800-900 grand a year. Yeah, I was looking it up and I thought it was crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah. So I
mean,
I
know
most
of them
usually competitive, like when it comes to like championship time, Teddy.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine the kids playing at those schools have some pretty nice NIL deals, right? For where they're at in their life.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it's tough with golf, you're not getting as much, but you are taking care of, like, most of these kids are getting sponsors while they're in junior golf before they even make it to college. So they're not really getting money, but they're getting any equipment that they want from whichever manufacturer they sign with. And it's pretty much the same once they're in college. They'll get some extra stuff if the school is a Nike school or a TaylorMade school. But they already have a personal deal with Ping. So they're able to get even more stuff out of that. But off the top, they don't usually get too much. So that Rose Zhang number is crazy.
there's some others out there that are, they're making a ton of money in NIL. So I don't know.
I gotta also think, like, he's thinking I can play on the PGA Tour. I top 50 at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, arguably probably one of the hardest golf courses to play U.S. Open. I've top 10 the last 2 tournaments I played in since then. I think he's feeling pretty confident in, like, what's his name? Nick Dunlap did. Maybe we see tomorrow. He's like, you know what? I'm foregoing school and I'm just gonna go become pro.
So, but think about how this has changed. Like, NIL's changed everything, right? Like, NIL changed football, baseball, all the sports. It's even gotten to the point where it's changed golf. Because he said in an interview, I don't really need a lot of money right now. I'm 20 years old, still at Florida State University. If it's enough to handle what we have here, and I'm able to travel, you know what I mean? Like, he just said, I really don't need 900 grand.
Yeah. That also, golf is one of those sports you don't have a lot of kids struggling on their way.
Yeah, but I don't think Clanton's one of those kids. His dad, I think he was in software of some sort, and he worked 2 jobs. Like, I listened to an interview, And the mom at one point went from working to stay at home so she could travel around and take him to golf tournaments. So it's not like, I mean, I didn't get the impression that they were independently wealthy off of that, but
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they are, but it sounded like it wasn't one of those things.
Don't and a lot of people find, I guess we'll call them like private sponsorships, right? To somebody with that kind of money, and we'll say generosity sees somebody with talent young, and maybe parents can't give them everything they may need to become successful, for lack of a better way of saying. Some people will privately sponsor these people and help them try to achieve going pro, going to college, getting some experience, etc. I think that's probably prevalent, right, in the golf world.
I think when you get to the like wanting to make the tour, but not in college, I mean, those private donors, I mean, maybe they help. I don't know. I'm over my skis with that.
Well, you got to imagine whatever. I mean, Florida State, all these guys, they're not paying for tuition. They're scholarship.
No.
Yeah, true.
So what do they got to pay for?
That's true. Yeah.
You know, all the
and
equipment
I mean,
comes from the school.
As a college golfer, he's done pretty well for himself. I mean, like I was looking at one of his biographies, and what is it? This year he was the Ping First Team All-American, Jack Nicklaus Award finalist, Haskins Award watch list finalist, Ping All Southern Southeast region, all ACC team selection. I mean, the guy has career stats that people want for their entire career out of the last year. And his scoring average this year was 69.3.
Decent.
As of right now,
as a junior in college.
I just exited out it, but he's the 3rd ranked men's amateur in the world.
Yeah. Like pretty
good.
Low key greatness.
Why not go pro? Like what do you
I think if he wins a tournament, that's the same thing Nick Dunlap had to do. Is like, okay, do you skip what Michael, whatever his name is,
Thorbjornsen?
Yeah, Thorbjornsen.
Well, he's going to get his card either way, the same way he did.
No, I know, but Thorbjornsen went through PGA University, right? So, but if it's Nick Dunlap skipped all that. He was right up there with Michael on going through PGA U. And because of the American Express win, he went pro, and now he gets his exemptions through that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of interesting when you win a tournament. Now you have to make that decision. That's when it becomes.
I think it's a much easier decision if you win.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if my name's anywhere near this list of, I'm looking at the WAGR and it's in the top 10. Like, what do I need college for? Especially Luke Clanton, who has performed in professional events, like not just opposite field events. Like he has performed very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going pro as soon as possible.
You could go pro now, Cam. All you have to do.
I shot 81 on Sunday. Like we're looking good.
Yeah.
You can just say, "I am now a professional golfer."
I'm a pro golfer who still pays to play golf on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, but if you win money, you can accept
it. And pay for all your clubs, including golf balls, except for the ones you find in the woods.
I think like with Luke Clanton, you've got Gordon Sargent, you've got a lot of young up and coming talent. Like college golf is becoming a little bit more mainstream too, right? Like people watching the end tournament, to find the single NCAA champion, then the team event, both women and men. I think golf's in a good spot when it comes to young talent like Luke Clanton to take like the reins over in the next few years from some of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree.
So should we do a little point recap on the John Deere? Teddy, sorry about your luck. Big fat goose egg for the leaderboard.
Wasn't great. My winner and dead last finished the same.
They did, tied for 52nd. Jake Knapp and Blaine Hale Jr.
Yeah.
Blaine Hale Jr., another young guy. Jake Knapp, I think he's just been the guy that's taken a while to get here.
To get to this point. So not great. Not a great showing.
And to recap, Teddy was the last to pick for the cut line, and he had a choice.
Yeah.
Does he go 5 under? Because Justin and I had 4 under and 3 under, or does he go 2 under?
Yep.
If I was Teddy, I definitely was going 5 under, obviously. But he made the wrong decision.
It seems so low.
It is
so low.
I wonder what like the lowest cut line is for an event, let's say in the last 30 years, and then also like the lowest total winning score. Do we know that? Somebody at Golf Historians. All right, so Teddy Goose Egg. Justin.
He still sits at 16 points.
Yep, Teddy's at 16 points for the season-long race. Justin, you got a point for your DFL.
Thank the Lord.
Martin Trainer missed the cut by 1, 4 under par. Your cut line was 3 under, and then your winner was you thought Sepp Straka was going to go back to back.
On the first day, I was like, I got a chance for this.
It looked pretty good.
I was like, this guy's playing solid, and then I don't even know what happened to him. Like where
he stopped making birdies as much as the other guys.
It was a birdie fest. So
yeah,
he got past real.
Sepp was tied for 61st, which at this point had to be what? 7 under par.
8 under.
8 under.
8. But I mean, he had a good first round. That's why it looked so well with 66. But then he went 71, 69, 70, which in a normal tournament, that's not too bad of a showing. But
right.
What was happening this weekend, that didn't do anything for him.
So that brings you, Justin, to 10 points.
Yes. Double digits, baby. Make it a comeback.
Still last out of the 3. And I got 2 points for being closest to the cut line at -4. And then my outright winner pick was Jordan Spieth, who on Saturday, I'm like, he just shot 8 under. Like, he could do the same. A lot of people shot 7, 8 under on Sunday. That was not Jordan Spieth's story. He finished tied for 26. Justin's going to lobby for the idea and policy that I should lose a point because my DFL finished better, Hayden Springer, than Jordan Spieth did.
I think that adds some complexity to this.
As we know, Hayden Springer came out and shot 59 on Thursday. And then he still kept making birdies. It's just everyone else made a couple more than him.
I think one of our guests, Tyler, I know you're kind of listening mildly at this point, and I know you really want to put it to Cam, so like you should put in the comments that he should lose points for that. So, but Cam, now you have 15 points. TL2 with the goose egg coming in with solid 16, so you're still in first. But it's a horse race at this point. We got some stuff going on.
7 under, by the way, was the lowest cut in a PGA Tour event.
That's crazy.
What event was it?
It was the Shriners.
That was a California event, right?
Texas.
Oh, we have a live golf event this week, guys.
Yeah.
Andalusia in Spain.
España.
Some of the pictures that have been posted make me want to go to Spain.
I'm on ESPN.com because that's where it took me when I Googled live golf. And it's like there's just no tournament data available for this. So it's like ESPN's not even bought into live golf. Unreal.
It didn't take you to like live.com, like or whatever.
I mean, I bet if I clicked that link, it would.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so on the PGA Tour, we have the Genesis Scottish Open, which is a nice field. It's usually a pretty good tournament. Unfortunately, like it's hard for me to watch, like at 7 a.m. when the last tee times are going off, because it's like 1 a.m. my time to 7 a.m. is like when they're teeing off. But it's always a good event. I mean, you got the Rory shot from last year on 18. He's
Iconic.
Got a plaque. What do we think about the plaque thing?
I don't hate it. I think it's just you're gonna get people that try to hit those shots and stuff, but it also gives you like a false sense of hope because the day you get there it might not be as windy.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh,
so for
just hit an 8
for For the people who are listening, what are you talking about with plaque?
Yeah, so Rory McIlroy
Details.
coming in on 18 on Sunday at the Genesis Scottish Open last year. Wind, it was like 30 plus miles per hour, kilometers over there into him, right? He had a 2-iron. He needed to – did he need the birdie to win, or did he just need a par to win?
Can't remember.
Either way, he hit an incredible 2-iron stinger, like 200 yards. Normal club is probably like 260, 275 for him, right? And I remember sitting there watching it on my TV, like watching the ball. It was one of those camera views too, where you could see the ball pretty much the whole way to the green. And he put it to like 10 feet. One of the greatest shots probably ever to help close out a tournament. Well, that golf course decided they're putting a plaque where he hit that shot.
Oh,
Rory McIlroy, 205 yards out, 2-iron, 2023 Genesis Scott, whatever it's going to say.
There's a few of those out there, though.
Yeah, I like it. I'm probably never going to play this golf course, so I'm never going to see it. But if I did, like Teddy said, I'm going there. I'm going to try and hit what would probably be like a 4 or 5 iron stinger. No matter what wind there is, right? I don't care about the wind. That doesn't matter. I'm going to try and hit that shot. I go to Pinehurst in a month. I'm going to try and hit the 50-yard bunker shot that Bryson hit. Depending on how I'm hitting him, I don't want to break a window in the
Sure. Yeah, but that's fair.
If they could, they should put a plaque in that bunker.
I think there's a plaque. Isn't there one at Chambers? And then I think there's a plaque somewhere for Jordan Spieth. I remember watching a YouTube video about the University of Texas, and there's a course around Texas that actually has a plaque with Jordan Spieth for a shot he hit. So maybe it's a thing.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
Annoying.
I don't mind it. I've never seen one though, like in person. Like, I think the most famous one is like a Lee Trevino, right? Lee Trevino plaque from one when
Trevino.
Trevino? You mean Trevino?
That's how you say it. Trevino.
That is not how you say it. Trevino.
Trevino.
There is no yo at the end of this. Trevino.
All right, it's Lee Trevino. Sorry, guys.
I just like the fact that Teddy and I agree on
pronunciation Nazis over here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
favorite quarterback was Joe Montana, wasn't it?
Montano. So last year it was Rory. Bob McIntyre made his appearance with that, which was kind of cool. Then you got Scotty, who, I mean, I thought Scotty was in the field this week. Looks he's
opting out.
I was told he was.
Yeah, and then we've got Ben Hunt-Ann, and then a few others until you get to like JT Poston, Tyrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, etc. I mean, Max Homa had a pretty good week, and then you got your boy Brian Harmon tied for 12th. So I mean, I think there is something to playing well in the Scottish Open, and then going straight to the Open Championship and playing better.
Or peaking.
Yeah, true.
If Brian Harmon wins the Open again, I'm not gonna watch the Open ever again. I don't think.
No, don't lie. You know you will.
It's just so boring. Waggle,
No, that's fair.
waggle. 5 more waggles. Sorry, I'm currently looking to see if Rory needed to make birdie to win because it's bugging me now.
All right, so if we're gonna do picks on the Scottish, who gets to go first? Does that mean Cam, you scored the most points, so you get to go first?
Yeah, I guess it's me since I scored the most points, right? So let me pull up. That's 2024. Got it. What do we want to start with? We want to start with cut line? Do we want to do DFL?
So cut line was what it looks like it was 5. Wait, what? 72.67 was cut line. I mean, Patrick Cantlay was right on the cut line last year. Is that right?
I confirmed that birdie. It It was for birdie, and he needed it to win. Otherwise, it would have went to a
Mm.
playoff with Bobby Mack.
Okay.
Oh,
Which just
yeah,
adds to the difficulty of the shot, right? You got it pretty close.
Cut was 1 under par last year.
1 under par, so we'll do cut line first. How do I want to start us off here? I'm going to go 2 under. I think they get a little better this year.
Really? Dang it.
I said what I said, Justin. You're up.
I know. I was just hoping you were going to go like 3, go out there and go like, oh, they're way better. And you were going to just like spew all sorts of Rory nonsense and show your
Do we have a weather forecast?
Right now it's 54 degrees with 19 miles an hour wind. So,
what are the gusts? Do we have any boots over there?
Boots. All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm gonna go with even par.
Oh,
Teddy.
Yeah, this is tough because you guys are kind of sandwiching me to take 1 under. I don't want to take 1 under.
But
I also don't want to take. I don't want to take 3 under. I'll tell you that.
I say 1 over sounds better.
1
than
over.
3 under.
1 over looks worse, honestly, in my opinion.
Well, did you see what the past results were? Like,
I'm gonna do. No, I don't need it. Go with your gut. 1 under.
Okay.
We're taking 1 under.
All right, DFL now.
You're up, Cam.
He's scrolling.
I'm scrolling.
Okay, and
It's
you
true.
can't take an amateur. Let's remember that. Because I know this is one of those where you could take an amateur because there's a few.
I like picking people who like you've heard of, and that
it is
they probably won't be dead
And
last.
Might shoot a 59.
Yeah, could possibly go out and shoot 59 on Thursday.
It's possible.
We're gonna go DFL. I'm just still scrolling. All right, I know who I'm picking.
Okay.
We're going with Bernd Wiesberger.
All right.
He's 199th ranked in the world, and he's going to finish DFL.
DFL. I'm picking one that's a little bit different. I'm going Luke Donald.
I can't remember. Did that work out when I picked him a couple weeks ago?
No, it did not.
At this point, it's got to be like 4 months ago. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you picking, Teddy?
Dude, yeah, some of these guys, I have no idea. I'll take Lara Thobel. Yeah.
Laura,
is that
what?
fair? Lara Thobel. Yep. That's fair. Okay.
Okay.
Pablo.
Yep.
So, Teddy, I think you picked Luke Donald for your DFL when I picked Padraig Harrington. And Justin picked Jimmy Walker. So we're all in on the old guys just not performing.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks, it looks like, before the PGA. And that tournament was it the Wells Fargo that we did that? I think it was. Yeah. So it did not work out because Padraig Harrington was actually worse.
Is Padraig in the field for the Genesis? I don't think he is. Yeah,
it seems like his little tip kind of Instagram, YouTube shorts are actually really good. I was thinking about starting to watch those. I just can't get past the accent. The Irish. He's very Irish.
Are you setting yourself up to
You know me and Irish people,
week?
dude. Yeah,
well, that's why I'm asking. Are you just?
I am. So actually, does this topic, this conversation, does it lead us to the next? Who is picking? Like, are you picking the winner? And does it coincide with being Irish?
He's not Irish.
And is his name Patrick Harrington?
His name. He's English.
His name is his name.
His name is his name. It is. He is who we thought he was. He's got long locks.
You said long locks.
He's English.
Hideki.
He's never won on the PGA
You're
Tour.
going with Tommy Fleetwood.
I'm picking Tommy Fleetwood.
You're picking Tommy Fleetwood.
I like it. I think that's a good pick.
Can't wait for your DFL to finish ahead of him. It's gonna be awesome.
That's also possible. Yeah.
But I don't know where the disrespect is coming from, Justin, but it's got to stop.
I think this is crazy. Why did you not pick you are the #1 leg humping Rory fan ever. Like, where you're not taking your boy?
I don't know. I don't think that's true.
I don't know if I'm leg humping.
All right, so
Jordan especially Speed, Rory would be the one
maybe leg humping, but I mean, you're pretty big.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a Rory fan.
Yeah.
I like watching Rory play golf. I like Rory. I don't know if I'm humping his leg though. Come on now.
And for Spieth, I don't think it's his leg.
No, we're tip to tip at that point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my gosh, no.
Well, on that note, Justin, who do you think?
His hashtag is savior of spin should just be full of giggles or something.
Yeah.
The guy can't stop laughing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a different pick here. I think
it's not gonna be much different than Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go with a better pick than what we just had. I'm going with Morikawa.
Strong words.
I'm gonna pick the 6th best golfer in the world, Colin Morikawa.
That's actually a really good impression. I like that. I can appreciate it. I want you to do all your hole recaps on Instagram with that.
Donald Trump here. Play par 5 with this 11 handicap. Cameron's like,
yeah, I like it. I mean, TL2 could probably get our president down pat. I believe there's some magic with him for that. You guys could have your own debate right there.
We'll allow you to work on your Joe Biden, Teddy. Okay, you don't. Have to, we're not going to put you.
You have to do it right now. Besides,
for the first time ever.
Teddy, who's your outright winner? Do it in your best Donald Trump voice.
I can't. That's not even.
Okay.
That's not even a thing I have. Is it crazy that I want to pick Victor? Is that crazy?
I mean, he's pretty high in the rankings, and like even the odds.
Do you need a short game to win at this golf course?
I don't think you need the same short game that Hovland doesn't have. You need creativity, and you need to be able to hit like punch 6 irons, which I think Hovland's got.
Yes, thank you, Justin.
I'd say it's not that crazy,
honestly, but Rory could, repeat.
Rory is liable to win every time he tees it up. I mean,
I know.
That is very true. But there's also Xander on the board.
But it's also the week before major.
No one's even mentioned Xander.
No.
In his defense, Rory was competing on Sunday at the Open last year when he won the Scottish Open. He was there. He needed eagle and he didn't hit a driver on 18. It was stupid. Was that 2 years ago? That was 2 years ago. I regress.
Yeah.
Who are you picking, Teddy?
Come on, Teddy. You got this.
I'm going to go Rory. I'll go Rory.
Good pick. Teddy really went on a limb there. He picked the 2nd best golfer in the world, Rory McIlroy.
I don't know why I find this so funny. The game do this.
The more you laugh, the more encouraged I'm going to be. So
I like it. I'm going to laugh at everything then. This is perfect.
Is Rory going to win the Genesis Scottish Open? Probably not. But He's liable to win anytime he tees it up. Okay, so those are our picks for the Genesis Scottish Open. Let's add something here. Will there be a hole in one? I say yes.
I think most events you have to just put money on yes, right?
There's so many high level golfers just throwing darts at 4 holes every round. It's like, come on, the odds got to be in our favor, right?
I think it's one of the safest bets you can make.
Put some units out there.
It would be
at least
interesting
one
to see who, like, what event has there been? There's never been a hole in one, right? Like, how many events out there where the PGA Tour has shown up? There has not.
We'll get our statisticians on that. AKA TL2, since he doesn't.
Yeah, don't we have an intern? Didn't we hire an intern?
She did. She quit real quick though. There was a few things that you said TL2.
All right, those are our picks. I think the last thing we need to talk about, the big golf news, is Mr. Keegan Bradley being named the captain of the U.S. team for the 2025 Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black.
It's kind of weird, right?
So my thought, you all watched Full Swing, right?
Correct.
I mean, Cam, I know you did. Teddy, did you actually get to Full Swing?
This is going to get really old really quick.
I don't think so.
I did not see season 2, no.
Okay, so he got just so
you didn't?
Screwed.
Okay.
No.
He got so screwed
Spoilers
in this. Yeah, and like you have to watch. It's worth it just for watching the Keegan Bradley episode because like he literally thinks he's getting a call to make it after he's won the Travelers, and he just gets punched right in the face by Zach Johnson, who you would think would have a little bit more respect for a guy like Keegan, but he doesn't. He's part of the boys club, so he goes and picks out Captain Dumbass JT, and they.
I will say this. JT performed.
He did.
Yeah.
Did he deserve
he always
to be
has
there
in Ryder
though?
Cups. Doesn't matter. JT wasn't a bad pick at the end of the day. Zach Johnson was a bad pick for the captaincy.
100%.
That was the bad pick. But and I will defend, we'll say Zach Johnson and his selections. He was painted in a very bad light by the editing done in Full Swing.
100%.
Right.
I will. Okay.
Right.
I'll regress and I'll agree with you on that.
But either way, it's not a good look when he's rooming with Ricky. He's eating dinner with Ricky, Jordan, and Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
At whatever event that was.
Totally.
Not a great look. I think Keegan's probably a good pick for the captaincy. Used to sneak on to Bethpage Black, like in college, I read somewhere on Twitter today, the best source you can find. He knows golf. He has plenty of playing experience. I think it would be really funny if he picked himself as a playing captain. Like, that would be great.
That's what I'm saying. It's really weird that like he
still has
one thing
chance.
when Tiger
he actually has good points towards it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing when Tiger does it. It's Keegan Bradley.
Like Keegan Bradley's actually ranked 24th in the Ryder Cup points right now.
Yeah.
He could have 2-3 really good tournaments and get right up there.
Yeah, I don't think he's in terrible form right now for himself. It's a year away, right? Like anything can happen.
I do love the fact
I think it's going to be his pick. His captaincy is going to be tainted by Full Swing and how that all played out. It's going to be. They're going to say, he's almost in a lose-lose situation, right? They're going to be like, yeah, he was picked because he got made to look like a little puss, right, in Full Swing because Zach Johnson had to call him and say, yeah, you didn't get picked, pal. But on the other hand, he does have the merit and the qualifications to be the captain, whether that happens or not, I think.
Yeah. I think he brings something different to the table. I mean, there's some like rumors and questions and like speculation going around about who he's going to have for his assistant captain, which I think could be really cool if he brought in he's been the original MJ, wearing Jordans from the beginning. He's got a personal relationship with Michael Jordan. Could he bring someone in like that to be like the Ryder Cup assistant captain?
That would be such a mistake.
But it's something
That would
like
be so
completely
dumb.
It's something completely different.
No, they should have Jordan do the outfits.
That'd be cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, can't get worse than some of the other
I don't
ones we've
think Jordan should be anywhere near telling people how to play golf. Yeah, he's probably pretty good. He does not need it. That would just be terrible. That would make Keegan Bradley look like an idiot, whether it worked out or not, if you ask me.
I think the opposite. I just
Well,
think
you're
it'd be
wrong.
something. I'm totally fine with being wrong. Clearly, I'm wrong in our picks every week. So I think it would be kind of cool. It'd be different, and you know what? It would grab more people from outside the golf world to actually watch the Ryder Cup.
I don't think the Ryder Cup's hurting for views.
I don't think
Personally.
that's true. I don't think the people who are waiting in line to go buy the pair of Jordans and people who are running bots to get every release and sell them out are going to be like,
I'm
yeah,
not talking
Jordan's
about
in the
those
Ryder
people.
Cup.
Those people don't care about anything. I mean, but it's like you've got the basketball, you've got baseball fans that are still like into it. I mean, I think it brings different sports into it because of just who he is. Now,
I am a Chicago sports fan. That is a Chicago Bulls jersey right behind me. I think it would be the stupidest thing in the world for Michael Jordan to be a vice captain, whatever the co-captain, whatever they're called.
We're gonna have to throw this to some people and see what they're gonna rip you apart in the comments.
I think
Listen, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm probably in the majority. But as of right now, it's top 6, right, in OWGR for the Americans.
Yep.
Well, for Europe too, and then 6 captain picks, right?
So the top 6 in points right now, it's kind of interesting. It's Scheffler, DeChambeau, Schauffele, Morikawa, Brian Harman, Wyndham Clark. Those are the top 6 for Ryder Cup.
I don't know how he performed in the last Ryder Cup, but Brian Harman shouldn't be anywhere near the team. Was he even at the last Ryder Cup? I don't even know.
Yeah, he was paired with Max Homa. Like, they were clutch.
Mm-hmm.
They were good. Well, like, just because you dislike left-handed people, get out of here.
I don't know, man. No, in my defense, nobody really played all that great against the European team last year. Right?
Max, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Max Homa played awesome.
We got boat
some
raced.
excitement, like in the first day, but they came back and played pretty well, I think.
Boat raced.
But
what if like Michael Jordan had like given him a pep talk before, like Sunday singles or something?
Talks about his flu/hangover game.
But
in the clubhouse of Bethpage Black.
Could you see Brian Harman playing Bethpage Black? Like that, I think that course would tear him apart with its length. That would be an issue.
I don't know. Keegan said he's picking the best golfers possible.
He's also saying that he doesn't care about live versus PGA. So I mean, Bryson, you're in. Brooks, you could potentially be in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rom's going in for the Europe, but Europe said that they are not taking live golfers. So how is that going to be?
They're not.
Yeah. So how is that going to be fair if all of a sudden Keegan comes in and is like, I don't care what tour they play on.
I think if the Americans do, I think the Europeans like have to.
Yeah, they're gonna turn that around. It probably will happen either way.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
So I don't know. So who would be a good assistant captain then?
Zach Johnson. Just make it as awkward as possible.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, was Tiger offered the captaincy?
Tiger was offered and said no. He had too much stuff going on.
What is he?
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it was confirmed. I also think
probably the PGA policy board or whatever it was and all that, working on the PIF deals.
I also think there's been rumors that he wants to be a captain overseas. which
I can get behind that.
Tiger fashion, he wants to go over and win in Europe. And how many years has that not happened?
Hear me out.
couldn't he just be the captain whenever he wants though?
He could probably call the board, whoever picks, and they're like, yeah, he's like, I'm ready to be a captain. They're like, great. I'll see you then.
Deal.
So I mean, does he feel like
here's my 3 co-captains?
Yeah, Charlie is one of them. Does he feel like it's not like a presidency? Like you can do it as many times as you want.
I think what I read was that he wanted to focus on like the PIF kind of deal, the framework deal that should have been coming like 2 years ago. And then like also the PGA like policy board that he's on. Yeah. I think he should be captain. Like, is there a rule against people just being captain until he dies?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure he can just do it however many times.
Hear me out. Phil Mickelson, co-captain.
That was what I was gonna say. I wrote it down. I was like, co-captain. If he's going out and saying like, I don't care about the live thing. I mean, Keegan and Phil, they've got like history together in the Ryder Cup that Keegan played in. Like he felt like he was mentored by it. Does he bring Phil back?
You also have to consider everybody else in the locker room too.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, is he gonna be the guy who creates like? Is the co-captain gonna create animosity? Can people get over that at this point, or is it like we care more than the PGA Tour players care?
He's gonna pick Phil. He'd be like, "Hey, Phil, you can take Brian Harmon, your fellow lefty, and just coach him."
Or Bryson and Brooks, right?
Yeah. I also don't think that animosity factor is what the media and everyone wants it to be. Between like live and
that's
PGA.
what I'm saying. Like, do we perceive the animosity heavier than what's actually happening with the players?
Probably.
do people look at Phil and they're like, oh, evil, or are they just like, oh yeah, what's up, Phil?
Right.
Like
probably the latter. Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't care as much. So, I mean, that'll be interesting to see who he picks. I mean, his team could be wildly different because, I mean, could you imagine being like hearing this pick and going, okay, well, you've got the boys club of Ricky, Spieth, JT. Do we throw like Cantlay and Xander in that? Are they part of the boys club?
I think so.
Ooh, we got split decision here.
You don't think?
The boys club?
Yeah.
I think Cantlay and Xander are pretty close friends, but I don't think they're like in the same.
I see. Well, I don't think Justin meant like that they're all part of this one singular group, but that like they should be included in these sorts of events just because of their relationship and how they.
But now you've
got.
Keegan.
I think Xander's actually good, and
100%. has you don't think
played very well.
Cantlay. I mean,
no, I was going to say the same thing about Cantlay, but like last year, Ricky Fowler was trash. He's been trash. Same with Jordan, to be frank.
So at least
out of those three, Justin Thomas had won a major in the last 3 years.
Well, let's just focus on that. JT and Jordan, you've got those two people. Are they just like, oh, I am not getting picked for the Ryder Cup this year?
Probably.
I don't think Jordan or JT were necessarily the worst picks you could have had last year. The experience they have in the Ryder Cup goes a long way. Now, were there people who didn't get picked that maybe would have performed better than Jordan? Maybe. Right? Was Keegan Bradley going to be better than Jordan? You don't really know that. But I don't think necessarily those two were bad. I think Ricky was a bad pick.
I mean, you had Ricky, who didn't play that great. I mean, Colin Morikawa didn't play that great. He fell apart on day 2. Sam Burns completely fell apart. I mean, was it Sam Burns and Brooks, or was it Scotty and Brooks who got beat like in the first like 9 holes? Like they didn't even have to go to the back 9. They were like, hey,
boat race,
toast. So I mean, you've got those 3 people, and then Wyndham. I mean, that was the team last year. Sam Burns, Ricky, Brooks, Colin, Jordan, JT. Then your automatic qualifiers were Scotty, Wyndham, Patrick Cantlay, Brian Harman, Max Homa, and Xander.
I think too, Wyndham Clark and Brian Harman, if they continue what they're doing, they're not going to be automatic like they were.
Yeah.
Wyndham Clark, I mean, he's got the points, but he's not playing golf right now. I mean, he's not playing good golf.
Correct.
So, I mean, he still ranks 6th, and then you've got Harman at 5th. So, I mean, if it happened right now, your team would be pretty interesting with how they're playing in current form.
It would not be good.
No.
Yeah. It would not be good.
But like right behind him, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you've got like Scotty with 8,000 points, you've got Bryson with almost 7,000 points, Xander has 6,500, and then you get into Colin at 4th, who's 2,200 points, Brian Harman 2,200 points, Wyndham Clark 2,000. Then you got Tony Finau at 1,500, Patrick Cantlay at 1,500, Sahith at 1,200, Max Homa at 1,200. Then somehow you got Russell Henley at 895 points. So there could be a pretty big shuffle in those next.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think someone I would like to see at the Ryder Cup's Cam Young. I would just like to see it,
especially at Bethpage Black.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be awesome. So
maybe Joel Damon. Do
you go out based off of Ryder Cup experience, fieriness? You go back to the match with Rory at where was that? Whistling Straits. Patrick Reed.
I think you have to have a mix. I think you have to have a mix of like guys that have been there before and performed, and also current form, who's playing really good golf, and also some guys that can handle that sort of atmosphere and that sort of pressure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Bethpage Black is going to be playing at 7,400 yards, which doesn't sound like crazy, but the 2009 US Open was 7,426. The 2002 US Open was 7,200. The 2012 Barclays out there was 7,468. So, I mean, you're looking at 74 to potentially 76, I think is what they can really stretch it out to. I mean, it could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, most of these guys, though, outside of the Brian Harmans, I don't think distance has that same power. You know, if you make a course long, it's not necessarily going to matter as much. It's going to be how thick's the rough, or do you have trouble in the missing spots? You know,
honestly, Brian Harman's better with a hybrid than some of these guys are with six and
Right.
5 irons. You know what I mean? Like, he's just more comfortable with it because he's been doing it his entire life.
I just don't like watching him play golf.
I know. You got the little mini hatred.
Waggle, waggle, waggle.
Add about 10 more, and then you're
All right. So the U.S. is going to win the Ryder Cup 2025. Got it. Keegan Bradley's going to carry us to victory. We're going to skunk him, I think. It sounds like, based off of this conversation. So
yeah, yeah. There's some hype going on. I think we're more intrigued about assistant captains and who the hell the team is. So,
I mean, well, like you said, just things can change so drastically over the next year. We'll call it,
totally.
points wise. So, was there anything else we needed to talk about today, gentlemen? I know we all got so much to say.
This season of golf is kind of interesting to me because, like, the John Deere, I want to hear about it, and I was actually listening to it more on XM radio than anything. I had to drive to a course that's like an hour and 20 minutes away with my daughter on Sunday, and then take her back on Monday for her tournament. So I listened to it a little bit on Sunday, trying to get that, and then obviously I played on Saturday. I think I skipped Friday, and I also played on Thursday. But
Jesus,
these last 2 weeks, like, I haven't wanted to like pay attention to some of the PGA Tour stuff, which it's just been kind of boring to me for whatever reason. But I did post that Tom Coyne book, A Course Called America. And it has me super intrigued about links golf right now. Like the way he talks about links golf. Yes, I know. That's why I'm saying it. Like, I think it's a good thing for us to end on, because I'm going to purposely watch the Genesis Open and like pay attention to it, because I think there's some cool things that like it came out of me reading this book and like paying attention to the architecture of links and some of the things that
good
he's
little
put in
appetizer.
there. So yeah. So
well, these next 2 weeks are your weeks, Justin, to shine.
To either prove like my distaste for it or actually enjoy it. So this weekend we are going to the Oregon coast. We're going to stay in Cannon Beach, and my daughter and I are going to go play Gearhart, which is the oldest course west of the Mississippi in the United States. So her and I played this. I think we went like 2 years ago, maybe it was last year. And I thought it was pretty fun. So we'll go back. I'll play a links course on links weekend. I think it'll be pretty cool. Hopefully we get some cool content out of that. See what it looks like.
Hit him straight, pal.
Yeah. With that, are we turning this bad boy off?
I think we're done. Ted, do you want to close us out with some words of wisdom that you come with your long life experience?
I just want to say thank you to Justin for explaining what aim point was. I feel like I learned a lot from this episode. Cam, I don't know about you.
I learned that Donald Trump resonates with Justin Lair.
A lot, almost too much.
Loves him some Donald Trump 45.
Just hilarious. Like I've known Cam for some years now, and like never heard this. I like it.
Well, we also don't necessarily get in an environment where it's probably appropriate for me to
yeah, true.
imitate Donald Trump. So
hey, it's all right to get just like housed, but let's not talk about politics.
Yeah, right.
All right, boys.
All right, that's it. Listeners, thank you so much. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify at Pitchmark Collective. We will talk to y'all next week.